All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Soul Sync Up. And June, let's breathe into June because can't you feel it? It is different and it's exciting, and you can feel like there's a lot of energy at the same time. But there's a lot of hi, Jennifer.
Hi.
There's a lot of I don't know. I feel like this soul movement up that we're linking into. So the weather today was really, I feel, helpful to us in this expansion of all that is still occurring. So let's just kind of breathe into that. And so let's just create our soul sync up synergy, especially because it's been a while since we've communicated or shown up like this. And then let's hold space for people that are going to come in a little later or are unable to make it. And here we are. I feel so excited. I get to sit outside and do this. It feels so nice. It's like the wind, everything just, I feel like all our senses are heightened. Like we can have this full on sensory experience now through our vehicle. And let's breathe into that. Because a lot of what has occurred through the brain, through the above chakra opening, through the greater experience of our chakras, is this full on soul feeling experience. So let's breathe into that. How many people have noticed like the colors look brighter? You can pick up on more sounds. Smells just feel more, like, I don't know. It just feels like everything's gotten heightened. Anybody else have that experience?
Yeah, I feel that way. It's just like everything finally came into place like yesterday or today. I guess after the rain, it's just everything, you say like bright. All the leaves are just bright green and the grass is bright green, and I'm hearing all the birds singing like crazy. It's really nice. It's a change.
Yes. Well, and I feel like, there's part of us that's going, oh, I remember this. I remember when we had more of a full 360 experience with our senses. And so I feel like this taste of paradise that we're getting is just so palatable. And that's not to say there isn't the other, but what's great about this time is we can quickly soul correct and get ourselves back into this core space where we can come back to, they're saying, the reset point. So let's breathe into that, the reset point. Everything's setting up. Everything is set for soul rising. Everything sets up you to move in that upward direction. So, I shared with you guys on the audio about directions have now moved to direct ion. It's broke itself apart. So direct ion, this ion, this ion and ion, the ions of the cells, the ion of the body, the ion of a particle charge is direct. And then it's also the I is on, the I. Remember, the true I is the essential I. The third eye is really the I, the essence I, the essential I. So that, essence energy is really pushing on, you know, the eye is on. So it's really code, but if you just kind of breathe into that and feel that. So what you might want to start noticing is how many words end with Tion. So any of those words that have Tion in them, guess what? That's an ion. You know? So you can just kind of experience and be more conscious of that. You know, T is that 2O. It's the 20th letter of the alphabet. It is about raise, culminate, or elucidate. 15 is, which is full circle. You know what I mean? And it is culminate. So you have this raising, culminating, which is both raising, the clearing, the leveling out, but also the lifting up. So let's breathe into that. And I will just briefly share, and then I want to hear from everybody, that my experience of myself has taken a quantum jump in that things are even, I mean, they're just there. They're clear. I don't know. It's just, it is like my essence beacon filters out all the extraneous and only allows me to focus on essential. And that's how I'm experiencing myself. So let's start passing this around, because I want everyone to put in their soul's energy here. And let's start with Trudy, since camera's focusing on you.
I, like you, have it's highlighting and focusing on the essential. And for me, I noticed that I'm feeling everything, and not just from an emotional standpoint. I'm feeling everything. You know, so the energy is really highlighted. There's so much more, you know, and I notice it in my body differently than previous experiences. It's just, I don't know how else to say it, but I feel everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's well put. So good. Glad you could make it. You got to move. Look at how much easier you move through that experience of frustration with electronics.
Yeah, right.
So
Yep.
give yourself a hand. Okay, Jennifer Miller, why don't you share?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Yeah, there's just a lot. The words that come to my that come to me are a lot. Movement, and then an element of fatigue. And I don't know that that's so much mine as feeling that more so at work, others,
Mm-hmm.
and that energy of the things that they're working through or haven't worked through, and then, you know, kind of experiencing that or observing that, you know, and kind of needing to protect myself from that.
Yeah.
But
Well, and also part of what I feel like you're tuning into is the heaviness of the illusion there that exists there. The perceived needs. We need to, we have to, we should.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's where you're feeling the fatigue. I feel like that soul is, and it feels like it's a soul fatigue.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do this, you know? And so if you have no energy to contribute to it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you'll just feel like, Bai says, well, we feel tired because there's no energy to contribute to this. Does that help?
Yeah, totally helps. Totally helps.
Yeah.
And also, I happened to talk to Julie earlier, and it was just, you know, from the emotion or feeling standpoint, stuff moves so quick that the human is like, well, isn't there more? Like you should be feeling more worried for longer, or and I have to get out of my head, like, no, like that's it. Like you've moved through it and let it go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Good. We'll come back to that. Remind me. So thanks for sharing, Jennifer. I'm glad you could make it. How about the other Jennifer? Jennifer Starbright.
Hi. What was the question? Or just whatever?
Just checking in. Just whatever comes out of the soul mouth.
Yeah. There's been a lot over here.
Yeah. Have you been close to that?
I am close to it. Yeah.
Wow.
Very close.
So let's just breathe a minute, because that's a deal. You're smacking that energy.
Yes, I've been feeling everything. It feels like it's an uprising.
I feel that. Let's breathe into that, because it's both ways. Did you feel what you just said?
No.
It's a uprising in the way we know, right? The human thing.
Yes.
But it's also uprising. It's
Totally.
that energy of up. Yeah.
Totally.
Go ahead.
So I have been, in the last week, been in a place of having my feelings of safety and security challenged. And it was an opportunity to strengthen them.
Nice.
I mean, I realized pretty quickly, even though feelings and things and information is all over, and fear, are all swirling around me, I can control this, here, this. And so I've just been focusing on holding my light as much as I can, and at times I did go into fear. I mean,
That's natural, actually.
Yeah. And
I would feel worried if you didn't.
Yeah.
Because it is part of your experience, and it's real.
Yeah. I mean, so I've just been having so many tears, but different tears of different flavors. Sadness, release, like I don't even know other words. Like sometimes I've been crying and it's a new kind of crying. I can't even explain it. But I've just been going with it. It just I'm just being with whatever's here. So interesting, today I noticed a shift. So in the last few days I've kind of I just had to deal with what's right here, my safety, what's next, where, but I've spent a lot of time in nature. Nature has been my huge counterpoint. So that's, I kind of bounce back and forth between, nature is a solace. It's been, I feel safe in nature, and nature's all around, and it's beautiful right now, as you said.
Yeah.
But today I noticed a shift. I don't know if it's within me or outside. So on my walk today, I just noticed that everybody is more open-hearted. There's more love. There's more, people are more open. And that was really cool. That was really cool to see. I walk around the lake all the time, and today people are different. They're just open and hi, and just out there.
Yeah.
So there's been a shift, and now it seems like the safety fears are subsiding. So this is what's next. What this, I think, what all that it's been revealed. There was a burning away, literally, of things.
Yeah. And then, if we just entertain or look at energy, right? Look at the matrix that was in that area, the eons of time of you know what I mean, violence in that concentrated area, and it had to be pushed up and out to get cleared. And it doesn't mean it looks nice or it's fun or any of it, but you know, as you move through that soul, through the emotions, or human through the emotions and go into soul, you start to see, wow, yeah, you just see farther. Yeah, look at how people are clicking in to that. It's a soul uprising.
Yeah.
You know, it really is a soul uprising. And it's like there was this doorway opened up or something today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was at Crystal Lake Beach too, and it was so peaceful. And even this lady who's there, who is has some delayed tendencies, she was different today in, you know, how she was. So yeah, I agree. Well, we are happy that you feel and that you held the light there. And please know we were supporting you, because I was well aware you were in the smack of it.
Thank you.
I will share with you, you know, that another client of mine in our group, she's in her 70s, she broke her wrist. And so I was making a house call for her, and I ended up smacking that area the very next morning. I had no clue you know what I mean, but I driving there, and I'm like, wow, what went on here? Because I could feel it, you know what I mean? Something was wow. And then she tells me, but what was fascinating, she lives 3 blocks away from the Wedge, okay, off Lindale and towards Hennepin. And she said it was so fascinating because she said her and all the neighbors, and it's a nicer apartment building, whatever. And she said, we were all outside just visiting and stuff. We heard no sirens, no helicopters, nothing.
Wow.
She goes, how is that possible? And to me, it's a vibration thing. Do you know what I mean? Part of it is that if they were to continue to hold a higher vibration, spirit's just like, whoop, you're not going to hear it, you know?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't want to add to the energy of what was there already, you know? So who knows how it works, but that was something that came through my awareness. But yeah, well, thanks for sharing.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. All right, Sue, where are you?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. We
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay. Okay. No, I guess what I'm noticing is I feel like I continue to maybe repeat myself when I say this, but it does feel like it's continuing to be a deeper connection to me in all of everything that continues to come forth each month. Basically, I know that we're continuing to see the development of how this is coming about in terms of everything outside of us and inside of us. So just being aware more so. And then just, again, going through the layers of emotions that I continue to find, come through and be just with that and moving with that. I have my granddaughter here on Wednesdays, so I just took her home a little bit ago. And she is such a bright spot in my life. And so when she comes here, we're always doing stroller rides, and she's pushing her little doll, and we're doing just all this stuff, looking for puppies in the neighborhood. And, I mean, you can find more innocence in her, in this child. And that is true for so many of our children, but it is just delightful to have her. So, it's nice.
Well, and let's entertain. What vibration do you suppose she's holding here? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If she's holding that purity and that innocence,
right.
look at how she's adding to the uprising.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it is amazing.
Good. Good. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. And Linda.
Yes, well, I like what you said about the uprising. That all kind of makes sense to me. But yes, last week was really an emotional week for me, and I found myself falling into the illusion. And I thought, no, I can't be here. I've got to start working with the light. And if I'm doing that, I can't be a part of the illusion if I'm focused on the light. So I did really start working with that. And once again, just being out of doors on my walk was kind of a big turning point for me. It kind of put everything into the right focus. And so I was able to separate myself from that. So I could see all the masses of people that were really deep into the illusion, and I was separate from that, which made it just easier for me to work with the light. So I'm still doing that. I'm still, I think there's still some stuff there that I need to work through, and the emotions are the big thing for emotions. So I'm concentrating on that right now, I guess.
Awesome. Great. Well, thanks for sharing. And we have Karen. Why don't you share?
Let's see here. Hi.
Hey.
We just got back from being up north, and we've been outdoors the whole time. It's just been lovely to connect, and we've seen some fabulous sunsets, and just the water has been, well, it's refreshing right now. It's about 67 degrees, so it's a little coolish, but it's wonderful. It just, to get in it just feels like alive, and yeah, it just feels like, thank you, Mother Earth and universe and all that. It's wonderful. And we were blessed with fish to be able to eat for lunch every day, which is just still a gift. And yeah, the energy's been really good. It's been different, though. There's no question about it. I felt the change from the 31st to the 1st, and it definitely felt like it's a whole new time. It's a whole new time.
Yeah, definitely. Well, good. We're glad you could make it.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
So let's just kind of take a moment and just kind of breathe with all the energies that were added into the center here. So I'm going to read to you. Oh, we have another comer. Let's see who just joined us. Oh, Diane's here. Yay. So Diane, why don't you go ahead and share? We're just doing our connecting point here. Are you there? Diane, can you hear us? She might not be. Hello, Diane. Okay, we'll let her
It
join
looks
in
like
when
her audio is trying to connect.
Okay. Look at Zoom, just like look at Jennifer, because she's been doing it so much. She's like,
Yeah.
you tell her.
She's a techie.
Yeah. Can you guys hold a minute?
I think she's connected now. Diane, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
Bye. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Okay. Yeah, that was Mark Cullinan. I didn't know she had just in, but she was just say, I mean, I love how the universe works. She goes, I changed my schedule So she goes, I'm just leaving now and I'll get, so it'd be perfect timing, you know? I mean, it's like, it's such an example of this
Roll with it.
whole way things line up. So is Diane there?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
Hi. Why don't you go ahead and just share whatever's here for you?
Well, it's been really pretty good. Amazingly, I keep feeling like, okay, what's gonna happen? It's always gonna happen. But you know, I've just been tilling the soil at the cabin, and so I've been playing in the dirt, pulling out weeds, and I feel like that's something for me. I don't know. So the night that Mara was working with us, all of a sudden my head was like zinging, and I got dizzy, and I'm like, oh, what's happening? And I had to go sit down because I thought I got dizzy. And then I remembered, oh yeah, Mara's working with our brain, so I best go lay down. But anyway, other than that, I've been pretty good, amazingly. And I don't know.
Yeah. So let's just notice that everybody on this call not only has been diligent with their soul work, but they've also said yes to what Mara's offered. So let's just kind of breathe into that. I do notice that things are going smoother
Yeah.
for those of us that said yes. I feel like energetically, she just kind of takes everything and smooths it out for us. And you know, that's what I've been noticing. So, so we can just feel grateful to ourselves that we made that commitment, because it has made a difference in our actual experience of things. So that's kind of cool. So let me just get into, and typically I don't give you guys a lot of quote unquote information, but I kind of want to bring you up to soul speed, so to speak, with kind of what the universe shared with us about May and now into June. So, you know, a lot of it I put out a lot of audio forecasts, and a part of that is so I can elaborate a little bit more on the days, because there was a lot going on. And one of the reasons why I didn't know this till we got out of May, but you know, they said you couldn't interfere with May with anybody. You know what I mean? Unless they personally came to you or whatever, then it was a soul choice. But we all were deciding on many different levels where we were going with this. So let's breathe into that. And part of it was I couldn't have an influence in that. And that's why we didn't do any soul sync ups. So, but with that being said, my sense is we'll do 3 this month. I feel like we'll be able to connect at least 3 times. And part of it is just because there's going to be so much movement, and together we are better. So we can create this synergy and just kind of really catapult ourselves as our pod by syncing up together. So let's breathe into that. And so one of the things towards the end of May, okay, so the big thing about May was obviously it was the end of May. We are in will completely, totally, and fully now. There is no more May. The universe is not saying May anymore. May you do this. It is you will. And that's part of this insistency that is coming with this energy. Now, with that being said, if you're in alignment with your soul will, you know, or if you're used to surrendering, going, okay, this is one more time, I guess I'm letting go of this, or I'm gonna, you know, whatever, it's not a deal. But if the universe has to come back around and be like a stern parent, I'm not sure I would like that. That probably might not feel so nice. But like I said, it is what you have sown is what we will be reaping here. And these seeds of love, this commitment to love, that, I mean, some of you guys have been with me since 2006, way before I even met Mara, you know, that commitment to soul growth has not gone unnoticed. One of the things that occurred the last day of May, there was like a soul litmus test. So just breathe into that. Everyone was evaluated. I mean, it really was. And you all knew Mara hasn't put herself out there on camera like that. And the fact that that was there and she just did it, and the whole of that message, I mean, she was asking, because it determines how this is going to play out for the rest of the time. So anyone that took that invitation and shared things, it was noticed, it was credited. It was like soul credits. Are you going to stand up for soul no matter who and what and how it looks? And so that is across the board, not just in sharing videos or whatever, but it was in every action you take. Was it taking that soul bold action? And so I find it interesting that in the concoction that came through, there's this, it's called ginger ale bold. And I don't know if you guys can find it or have found it, but if you can't, just put that extra energy of bold in it. But it is this boldness of the soul that just cuts through old patterns, old ways, old, you know, and it's natural. Let's breathe into that. It's really natural for us to stand in this soul way now. It is actually natural. It feels good. Even though people around you may not like it, it does feel so good. You know, it feels empowering, it feels strengthening. And then the other thing, I mean, look what was put out. I mean, that document was large, but then that video, and then also the I Am Soul Strong. Again, that movie, the way that came in and how it knew itself, in the pictures and the whole of it is so powerful. Continue to visit it. I would highly recommend that, because there's a lot that can be accessed through that, and it's, you know, it's less than 2 minutes. I mean, it's like a lot happens. And let's talk about time, because there's another quantum something that happened with time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then are you not experiencing that? If you're still asked to play in that linear time through work, through whatever, you may or may not, but you might find that you can do it differently now. It doesn't feel like you're so stretched between the worlds. It's like you can work with it now in a new way. So let's kind of breathe into that. Yeah, you can work with it in a new way. And the time compass I'm hearing, well, that's new. Time compass, it's been reset. And it's really gonna with these 3 eclipses and the solstice. Do you feel that? It's going to do.
Mhm.
So I'm going to stop there, and I want anybody to share, because that was a download coming in. Does anybody have anything that they're getting to add to that? Trudy, do you have anything?
No, you pretty much got it all.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. How about you, Linda? Anything?
It's hard to put it into words because yeah, time does seem different. It's I just can't describe it. It's not the same.
Right. And that's actually probably the point we were to make. It's just not the same. We
Yeah,
are not
it's-
experiencing it the same.
You know, the in the document that came out, you know, that it was going to be sharp angles and sharp turns and all this kind of stuff. And what I had an experience that was like, okay, we're going to do one thing, and we wound up where that didn't work. So we were like, okay, I mean, we literally just went this way. I mean, completely right turn, and it was like, but it was no big deal. It was more like, okay, you know, that's not working, so we're going over here, and this we'll play with this, and it just felt easy. It just felt easy. It felt smooth, like you mentioned earlier with Mara helping to smooth things over. And it didn't feel like time. It just felt like, no, now this, okay, now this.
And let's breathe into that. Now this.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is soul speak. That is what the universe is saying. Now this.
Mm-hmm.
Now this.
Mm-hmm.
Now this. You know,
Mhm.
let's just breathe. Now this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's really what's occurring now. This, you know, you may have awarenesses or ideas of whatever, but that soul flow, you want to go with soul flow.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go with soul flow, whatever that means. You want to go with soul flow. So part of this, how it was talking about the energy, it was calling itself striations. So if you look at that word striations of energy, striations, let's breathe into that, striations of energy. So you have that ion at the end of that word again. So there's another ion word, striations of energy. So you know when you see that, I-O-N, that it's working with ions within us in our DNA. And it says that ions and things will start moving in this zigzag way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This is permanent. This is from now on. It's putting the imprint in. Do you feel that? So it's just kind of like this, and it's quantum, so that it's happening at no time speed, and it's imprinting whatever that thing is to bring to us. And this strong action. So there's another word with action. It actually broke itself up, just like direction did. Direct ion, direction. Action is now act ion. So let's breathe into that. It's acting on the ions that are going within us. You would be called to start building to the inevitable. Insistent beat as the beginning of you will pulses through us. The ion thing, whatever that is, will make inevitable pop more with the DNA lockdown. So one of the things that occurred at the end of the month, it said there was a DNA lockdown, which is fascinating, that choice of words that they use, considering we've just been in lockdown in a physical way.
Mm-hmm.
So they said there was this DNA lockdown. So let's breathe into that. Let's not try to think we know what it means. Let's just breathe with the energy of it. So that direction, that direct ion, the direct is the only step that will be. It will be a direct ion or ion. We won't have direction as we knew it. So part of what's occurred and is still occurring, and it hasn't all talked to us yet exactly what it decided on, but the numbers of the clock are changing again. So who was I that I was talking to? Was it Sue?
Yeah.
Sue, do you remember what you said about that?
I said that you know, the first the first layer was 10 years, right? And now we are in this fourth layer, which can't even hold itself.
So let's breathe into that. That was her soul remembering about this. I really feel that deeply. Yeah, say that again. It can't even.
It can't hold itself because it continues to change. So there's a lot going on.
And eventually this clock goes into pure code. It will just be numbers. I mean, it'll be ones and zeros or whatever. It won't even be a word that we know in that way as we spiral up the layers of the clock. So, yeah. And so I feel like this is already the shifting of it.
When you said that, Julie, that there'll be no words, it'll just be numbers, ones and zeros, I literally got goosebumps instantaneously, and like, got a shiver like that. I totally felt that.
Good. Thank you for the confirmation. Yeah. Yeah. And again, maybe this is the place. When I was in the woods today, this is what came through. Deep within the wells of time, I remember rhythm, I remember rhyme. I cannot speak, for no words exist, only love and eternal bliss. Innocence abounds, pure joy, love reigns supreme. All is still, all is free. All is truly me. Remember, capital M, capital E is my essence. I am. So I'm going to read it again because there was a lot in there that kind of, ooh. So deep within the wells of time, I remember rhythm, I remember rhyme. Only love and eternal bliss. Innocence abounds, pure joy. Love reigns supreme. All is still, all is free. All is truly me, my essence. I am. So let's just kind of breathe into that. Does anybody want it again or?
Yes. Please.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Deep within the wells of time, I remember rhythm, I remember rhyme. I cannot speak, for no words exist, only love and eternal bliss. Innocence abounds, pure joy, love reigns supreme. All is still, all is free. All is truly me. I am. Do you feel that? It's like this boom. So, does anybody want to comment what they experienced with that?
I'll share. It felt like waves gently washing over me. Every time you read it, it just like I felt it. I just felt it everywhere. It felt
okay. Thanks, Jennifer. Yeah.
It felt like a gathering of all the layers and to coalesce as one, especially when you said I am, it was like everything just came together.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else?
Well, for me, it was a reminder of what we've always been.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel that, Trudy, like a sense of home, or like, oh yeah, this just
Mhm.
peace, or
Yeah. And that familiar. So there's a lot happening with wind. Let's breathe into that.
Mhm.
The wind just came up and kind of kissed me. It's like, don't forget to tell them about wind. So let's breathe into wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind, right?
Mhm.
So, but wind and wind are the same. They're spelt the same. So let's breathe into that. You have wind, but you have wine.
Mm.
So the wind is winding things up. So just notice when the wind changes, it's winding up. Do you feel this? It's taking and winding things up.
Mhm.
And there was something that happened in May called wind up. And then it called itself a pi, P-I, Greek, right? Or the math, 3.14, pi wind up. So this pi wind up is occurring in the wind. I was guided to go to Half Price Books because Mara wanted to watch the movie Liar Liar, because that, if you haven't seen that lately, it might be very helpful, because really it's the pen is blue moment, right? Truth. He cannot tell a lie. And then we were being with, we've been listening to a lot of Meatloaf. And if you're not familiar with that, it's called Bat Out of Hell. Bat, transformation, right? Out of hell. Anyway, so, but there's this, on their second album, there's this, I would do anything for love,
Mhm.
but I won't do that. It's this whole,
Mhm.
and I feel like that's what's being sung to us. Our souls are saying that. I would do anything for love, living our very essence, but I won't do that, meaning the illusion, right? To me, that's how I interpret it. So I was like, okay, so I'm guided to go back, and it was an interesting experience because they had just opened. I walked back to the clearance section, and of course, what CD is there but that one? You know what I mean? And so I got that, and I got Pocahontas. I got the Police, and this is before this happened, you guys. Look at what was being shown to me, right? We got Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell 2, and then Pocahontas, Tarzan soundtrack, and then the Police and the Secret Garden. Remember, now garden is guard in. You guard in, right? You also garden in, but you guard in. So I look at the codes and what comes. And so in the Pocahontas soundtrack, there's that song, you think you own the land that you land on. You think, it's something is just a thing, but I know everything has an essence, or a spirit, a name. And it's a beautiful song. If you I haven't ever heard it, but it's her recalling or sharing that everything's alive here. And it's this thing. And it talks about the wind. And so this wind up that is here now is literally, bringing this soul front in. So let's breathe into that. So let's look at all these words. Weather forecast, right? So here's me doing the weather forecast. Okay, we're casting the 4, and we're telling you it's a soul front moving in. And it's weather, but it's WHETHER. Whether or not you're ready A storm is here. A storm of breaking down the illusion. And you experience it either as a storm or as an eye. You're either in the eye of the storm or you're in the storm. And the I is the I am, right? The essence. So that also got written on that download I just shared with you. And then on the side it said, truth be stowed. Truth bestowed. So the truth of the being is stored, right? Truth bestowed is what's here now. All right. Let's see what else. Any more comments or anything on that? Let's see. So there's something that came in that I'll be offering to do more soul supporting. It's called Soul Soothers, and it's going to be like a product line of alchemy that Mara and I have remembered together, and it consists of a soul. What does it call itself, Sue? I always forget.
Ointment.
Ointment. Thank you. Ointment and a soul scrub, and now breathe into that soul scrub. It scrubs your soul, right? And also then bath teas, soul bath teas, and they're alchemy. And so Sue actually got to have an experience with the soul scrub. And do you want to just share a little bit about what you experienced with that?
Well, Julie does an amazing whole spa experience with this. That is incredible. So it's not just the soul to me. Well, the soul of the working with the feet. It's the soul. It's all of it. But it's the ambiance, the candles, the music, oh my, I mean, I was emotional throughout the whole thing. I don't know. It was just pretty, I was pretty taken aback. Then you brought in wrapping the feet, not just doing the feet, wrapping the feet, walking to your world room where there was something that would be, again, something that I would resonate with, that, and in that there was a poem that I read that was, I mean, everything was absolutely perfect. I don't know that it could have been more to me in terms of what it was that my soul required from the experience. So yeah, it was pretty.
Down to the tea bag.
Down to the tea bag, which she did. She got me tea, and here she is. She's what? How many tea bags do you have in it?
I have lots of tea bags in that cupboard.
It's a tea bag that just suits me to a T.
To all that we had been speaking of.
Yes.
All that she was addressing.
The emotional
And
aspect.
I'd never seen that quote before. I'd never heard of it.
No.
And it was like written for her. And it was just like, to me, it's that awe and wonder of how everything knows itself.
I know. I don't know. That was, yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, I would definitely say, please do the experience. It's just,
Yeah. It's like a sacred ceremony.
yeah.
It's old yet new.
Yeah.
So it's something we probably did before in some way.
Exactly.
But now it's, of course, with the new.
Right.
So
Well, as
Yeah.
we sat there, I know you said, do you remember doing this before?
Oh, did I?
You remember doing this? Well, you had the Essene book sitting there. I mean, everything
Oh.
was like, oh my gosh, this just really feels very nice.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah. Well, good. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you, Sue, for sharing.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's lots of things, you know, there will be more whatever's occurring here. And we can know that because the breaking down of the illusion of something that's been set in place for eons of time is no small task. But the the great thing is everyone on this call and in this group is at a place of soul strong. And we walk around as a portal of energy, of light. And you're not even doing anything, but you are creating an effect, a ripple. And so let's use Jennifer's example with, what just happened. I can literally see her light just beaming out and taking and smoothing out waves that are maybe discordant. And there's many Jennifers around, right? Not to mention all the people that kicked into gear that came together and held space for remembering, right? So everything adds to the whole. And we want to remember that just by us moving around. I remember there was some research done. I think David Wilcock had at one point shared this, that once we go into a space, our DNA resides there for up to 30 days after we've left. That's pretty powerful, right? So again, we're here to remember more and bigger and appreciate our journey. And we're really having this soul living process. So that's one of the things that I wrote down is I am experiencing my soul living process and continually rehearting yourself that this is a process, not an event. Continues to have you let go and just have it move smoother. So, does anybody else have anything that has, through the conversation, shown up, an awareness or something anybody else wants to share here before we just kind of go around and circle this soul sync up? Nope. Okay, then let's just start with you, Sue. And why don't you just share what you felt, whatever one you want to put into this completing the circle of this time.
Well, I have to say, I really appreciate us coming together like this because, once again, I feel like we all contribute to the whole, and it creates for me that sync up, which is what this is. So this is great to have this. I want to just comment on that soul strong that you mentioned, 3 things. For that really has, not that they all aren't, but for me, I've played that so many times and I feel it just goes to the core of me. I don't know what that is, but it's like we've navigated this before, is what it says in there many times. And we've let go of things many times. And we can do this. This is, this journey we can do. So, yeah, I guess, just holding that light and continuing to move through. And thanks to you and Mara for making the journey easier. It helps a lot. So thank you.
Yes. You are welcome. So welcome. So thank you, Sue.
Yeah.
Trudy, how about you?
Well, I just want to tag on what Sue just mentioned about the Soul Strong video. I too have listened to it an awful lot, and I have been playing with watching it either before or after doing the soul yoga. And that has been really interesting in that it feels like it highlights whatever I'm doing when doing the soul yoga. And then I've also been playing with doing them in sequence, in a sequence, like 1, 2, 3. And then also adding in a toning thing. So I would just encourage everybody to kind of play around with these various things and see what comes for you, because man, it's really interesting what I have been able to experience and access in being able to do that. And so it's been fun actually to play around with it. And then I also too just want to say that I feel really, really grateful for everybody. Really grateful.
Yes. Well, Trudy, we are grateful that you are part of this as well. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
And we'll see you tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Is it tomorrow? Okay. Just want to make
Yes.
sure. Okay. All right. Jennifer Starbright, how about you?
Hi. My cat just decided to join us.
Of course she did.
Oh, I am so grateful for this is so powerful too, as a reminder, as a energetically it brings me back to center, especially after the last week. It means like it feels like I don't have the words for it. I don't have the words for it.
We can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just a minor point. I've been really noticing the wind myself. I've been taking videos of just the wind rustling the leaves in the trees, and it's like it's talking to me. Like the trees are talking to me through the wind. It feels like.
Yeah.
Really, really
Yeah.
been lovely. So thank you for
Awesome.
mentioning wind too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all for creating this space in this sacred circle. Yeah.
Lovely. How about the other Jennifer?
Sacred circle totally resonated with me, and super, super grateful. And I was sharing with Julie earlier that I don't consistently get to make this in real time or human time, and am beyond grateful and feel very blessed for the recordings, because I literally feel like I've had the experience, or I'm having the experience as if I were here at that point in time. So very grateful for you all, and soul conversations and soul stories, because it truly makes a difference. And so grateful I'm here real time tonight, and much gratitude to you all, and Julie and Mara.
And us to you as well. So Karen.
It was interesting because the winds, we've had a lot of wind up north, and I always remember winds of change. You mentioned that at one time to me, Julie, and the winds of change, be ready for something new on the other side of it. And what was interesting, even though the wind was, after a while, you just kind of go, really, again? But then you kind of go, it's going to be something even better. I started looking at it differently and feeling it differently, and just got more comfortable with it, and felt like, it's not something that's going to be, I guess, doom and gloom or whatever. And it's just more like it's something new and different. It's a new adventure. It's a new time. It's a new space. It's a new breath of fresh air. It's a new whatever that is. And for that, I was really grateful. And the Soul Circle is that same way. So I feel like, you know, I'm blessed to be here tonight because I haven't always been able to be live. And yes, the recordings are so nice. But this circle is really, really sacred, really powerful. And I'm just very grateful to have all of you in my life and for what you do and share and blessings to you all. And thank you very much. You and Mara as well, Julie.
Mhm. And thank you, Karen. Thank you for contributing and sharing as well. Diane.
Thank you. I also am, all the things everyone else has said is like, that's my thoughts as well. We're all thinking the same. I also, well, I don't like the word thinking, we're feeling the same, I guess. I have been reading that, what's the name of the book, Julie? Working on Your Inner Child.
Yeah. Homecoming.
Homecoming. Oh my gosh. I recommend this book to everyone. And it's all about the I am and innocence and going back to your innocence and your I am and just going through all those stages of when you were a child and getting the things that you missed when you were a child. And I feel like that's this time. You know, I really do. It's just like it's all in sync for me. And just the innocence. It's going back to innocence. And so, I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I felt it would be very helpful to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And again, thanks for showing up and just, wow, Diane, I have to say, even from the last time whenever it was, your energy, everything feels so different. So
Mm-hmm.
good for you. Good for you. Yeah.
You.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like I would like to do some kind of experience, if not on the solstice, but around it. I'm not sure. I have to check in with Mara what is there, but I feel like we'll do a physical gathering and we'll see where it's going to be at, if it wants to be at my house or another space. So I'm just kind of putting that out there that I feel like we will do some kind of physical connecting as a group around that time.
When is that, Julie?
It is Saturday the 20th, I believe.
Okay.
So we may do it Friday or Sunday. You know, we'll see how that wants to play out. Maybe even Thursday. I don't know.
And you know, you're always welcome at the cabin, but it would probably be more during the week than during the weekend. But.
Well, we'll put together another experience there. And thank you for offering that up again, because it's very, very powerful. And I don't know if Jennifer is ready for us to come up north yet, but at some point we're going to be doing that too.
Yeah, not quite ready yet, but I'm being patient, doing what I can. Yeah.
So at some point we'll be up on the North Shore. So we're excited about that space opening up to experiences too. I find it fascinating. My friend Chris, who I stayed with at Marietta, Georgia, which we did a soul sync up. She must be feeling the energy. I did a soul sync up when I was on the road, remember? Driving back. And so she's been texting me while I've been on here. And she, let me just read this to you because it's here. And so I'm going to read. So she's like, she goes, an asteroid larger than the Empire State Building is set to whiz by the Earth this weekend. Interesting, huh? So I'm just saying, there is stuff flying around everywhere. So again, my soul heartful appreciation and gratitude to each and every one of you, and it is so fun to have this soul family come together side by side with me at this time. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you
Thank
too.
you.
All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.